Hello everyone, this video is not sponsored. I bought this COBI set for $80 US on morebricks.com. It is 1/48 scale and comes with 795 pieces. They have two versions of this, the regular and the limited edition, and this is the regular one. I was looking forward to this probably more than just about any other aircraft release, much less one specifically from COBI ever. And as I went to start building it, well, as I went through the entire process of building it live on Twitch and also mirrored over to here on YouTube, I was not disappointed until I was. Yep, this definitely has a turn. It has a certain arc to the story of its build. The first 80% of the process and the experience is really, really good. I mean, these wings are done so nicely at an interesting angle. And then the rear portions of the lifting body section of the fuselage here are angled in ways that I did not expect. It was very, very satisfying to create these large facets. They do have specialized parts for the V-tail stabs out here, and you also have the ability to move a couple of control surfaces, just one on either wing. And yeah, I was impressed by it, although it does have a ton of obviously black pieces with very few parts that change from that basic pattern of black on black on black on black. So you do want to definitely do some pre-sorting of parts. It's going to help you a whole lot, especially given that COBI does have you open a bunch of bags at a time and have a whole lot of parts in front of you at a time, many of which will look very, very similar. The underside might show you just a little bit better how this is a proper build made with mostly common pieces and just a whole lot of them. Obviously, they've got the tiled surface down here, which I personally like a lot. I think that looks a lot more like 80s style early radar absorbent material panels, you know, with the slightly different textures, and they are all satin, not glossy as opposed to the top, which is all glossy. But though I will ultimately mask off the cockpit windows here and then spray this whole thing with matte clear, just like I did with my SR-71, I don't think that this one looks as bad as the SR-71 with all of the glossy black shininess, just because of the way that it is designed with all those geometric facets on it. But all this was nice. And then you also do have access here to the bomb deployment. Sorry about that. It has to go this way. These open up like so. So you got the two bomb bays open up, and they've got the two paveways in there. One of them is a little bit misaligned right now. It's only attached with one single little bar, but those are built up nicely. I like the parts that they're made of. I like the parts that COBI has in their inventory for making weapons like that. And those look pretty accurate, and they're pretty nice. You can see that the points where the stand gets attached are pretty well embedded in as well. So when you don't have this on the stand, you don't readily see the big holes. However, the gear, unfortunately, rotate just far too easily. Like this just flops around. There's not a whole lot of detail to this. Like that's just all disappointing to me. It holds it up. Now it has enough strength, but the fact that these parts here just don't have the rotational stability and they kind of actually fall out just a little bit, this is a minor disappointment. However, the major disappointment of this was that after doing all of this build that felt good to me, then came this, and from here to here is one piece. If you've seen any reviews about this, you've already seen this. So I won't make a huge deal about it. But for folks who have not seen reviews of it, I will make a little bit of a big deal about it because it did not feel good. It wasn't a surprise to me because as soon as I opened the pack, well, it wasn't a surprise to me as I was building it, because as soon as I opened up the package, I took this gigantic part out. It's from here to here to here. That is all one piece. This is all one piece, except for the cockpit, the canopy rather, that has its own issue, which you probably have seen by now and might have commented on already. Thanks. Yes, I do have some fingerprints on here. Unfortunately, I've been trying to keep those away, but I keep getting just a little bit of oil on my fingers, and that's just something that's going to happen. But all of this being one piece just felt so surprising and so out of character. COBI does specialize pieces when they need to, and probably all this here needed that. This probably all needed that to look right. But here, this is 3 different pieces with prints. There for the inlets, that's 3 different pieces with a really nice shape. And then you turn the corner here slightly, that's its own piece. These are interesting pieces that are tapered in. There's a little bit of distal taper to this as well. Like they've got some nice stuff going on. All prints, no stickers, of course. All of this paneling back here done with just interesting build techniques. You switch into some curves here. The leading edge here is also curved over. You know, it's not just flat. They've distinguished between flat tiles and curved ones that are curved on one side or one end. Nice little corner pieces there. So much of this is done nicely. You got the suggestion of the little flat exhausts as well with the transparent orange pieces inside, and those are just regular pieces. So much of this is done nicely. And then it's just like they just stopped. They just stopped designing and just plopped all of this on at the end. It felt so uncharacteristic. Anybody who has watched me review these things at all in the past knows that I like when things look good. I want it to look good. I did not have a problem with my SR-71 having some major specialized parts to make it look good. It had enough building to it, but this just has so many surfaces and such a large portion of everything that you see that is literally one part. I can't be happy with that aspect of it. I wish there was more building involved in this. And then the canopy, again, you might have noticed that already, might have commented on it already, isn't closing all the way for me. It needs a little bit of trimming back here. It's not flashing. There's just something about the way that this one came out of the mold that either the canopy piece or I think it is the canopy piece itself just needs a little bit of trimming back here towards the back to be able to go down all the way. It is not the pilot that is stopping this from going down all the way because the pilot is in there fairly loose. Strangely, the pilot does not actually connect to anything. There might be some way to get it to connect, but it's not happening right now. The breather hose is supposed to go around over the top and it doesn't. It just kind of stops right there. There's a little clip to hold onto it. It's very awkward. It's weird. It's just floating around in there. It's strange. But ultimately, when you put the canopy down, it looks fine. It's just not an issue. The figure itself, I think, is done well enough, and it is a full figure, not a partial one. And then they do have a couple of prints in there that are very good for your main forward console area, but you're not able to see that particularly well once this is done. It's just such a shame that this does not close up properly. And then underneath here, I'm feeling these gear just spinning around in my hand. Now it does come with a stand. The stand is also weird because when I put this piece on right near the end of the build, almost to complete the build, I still have a ton of pieces left on my table of geometric stuff yet to put together. And that all goes into this stand. And it feels like instead, this should be like the base of this should be one specialized part because who cares about a stand? It's just a stand. It just needs to work, right? Put that part budget into that instead, but they didn't. So there are all these pieces left over after finishing the plane and just goes into this. Now the stand is fine. These arms are new to me. I've not experienced these arms personally before. They're pretty good, but then they have this weird thing going on. With these locks, they use these stud pieces that have a bar on the other side as locks. So these ratcheting joints will stop at certain points. There are holes inside of there, bar-sized holes that will line up with the bar portion of these small pieces. And they have you build a little tool, a little brick-based tool to insert these in there because it would be a little bit difficult otherwise to get them in there properly. And you put this into the angle that you want, and then you lock it in place with 3 of these. And then if you want to change the angle later, you have to take those out. You have to pop all of these out. And there are 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. You have to pop all those out to change the angle because otherwise this is locked in place. If you try to move it, it's going to start breaking some parts, I believe. It's so bizarre. I like a stand to be sturdy, and this is. I wish that it was able to give me some side-to-side angle as well, but it's fine enough. But just really weird choices made with the parts and the design work right towards the end of the build experience. At the end of the day, I'm very, very happy to have this. It does look good to me. It will look very good when I get this canopy fixed. And I get a matte coat put on it, and I will show you what that looks like and how absolutely transformative that will be when this thing looks proper. It just requires a little bit of extra work. It should not require a little bit of extra work to get this to work properly. That's just a production error there, I believe. Hopefully not too many people experience that with their parts. Hopefully It's just I just had bad luck with that one in particular, a bad batch, or maybe even just a bad individual one. Things go wrong sometimes. But yeah, this definitely is not nearly as good as I thought it would be as a brick build thing. I think that at this rate, if you're going to put that much non-brick built stuff, just that much specialized one-off mold into a build, why not just do this and then the wings also? Like a bunch of it could have been done with specialized pieces and just have far fewer pieces, a faster build, and still end up with something that looked really good. Maybe you could have had some nicer, more accurate panel lines in there. Maybe you could have even had some texture. If you're going to do, big special parts, let's give it some matte texture as well, so that it doesn't look super shiny, doesn't collect fingerprints like this, and doesn't look terrible once it gets just a little bit of dust on it. But again, I'm not going to majorly dock them for that. They've been doing glossy bricks forever. Most people want glossy bricks. It's just in this case, for this sort of application, it would be better if they had matte. $80 US. I mean, the prices that I've seen range from $65, but I don't know if that's actually real. Realistically, more like $70 to $90. That price range is pretty just normal for COBI stuff these days. Their brick quality is generally still very good. They do prints. They pre-align parts as needed before stamping the prints on them. Their figures have gotten better. Their stands have gotten better. Their accuracy has definitely gotten better. This thing displays pretty darn well, and just overall the value is kind of normal by today's standards. Just the build experience is not. But those are my thoughts. I will follow up when I can. Obviously I'm doing lots of things all the time, working as hard as I can, as fast as I can, to bring you as much content as possible. So I can't do everything all the time because I'm doing all the other things that I am doing, but I will get this matte coated. I'll fix that, get that closed up, and show you what it looks like. It's a very, very simple process, and I think you'll be much more impressed with this then, and maybe some of you will take it upon yourselves to do very simple and cheap modifications to your own, otherwise basically cheap plastic things, because these are not to be worshipped. They're just made out of ABS plastic, which is a very, very cheap commodity product, and some work goes into the design, and this is just a nice thing to look at on your desk. Thank you for watching, though. I hope that this was of some value to you as a video, and especially thank you to all of the channel members who've signed up to help me out a little bit extra on this channel to make sure that I'm able to continue to get more sets, because though these non-Lego sets are much, much cheaper than Lego sets, still I'm going through a whole lot of them quickly, and it costs a lot. So you are helping me a lot with your direct support, as well as using the affiliate links in the video description, which may give me a small commission if you're buying something. Just click on a link, and then within a day, any purchase that you make on that site could give me a small commission that just goes right back into the channel, buying more stuff to bring you more independent reviews. Bye for now.